Hello, this is Dennis with A1 Telephone Service and Repair, A1 Electronics. You can get us on the web at www.a1-telephone.com, and you can also reach us at 618-235-6959. This is kind of a little bit of an update video for Bill. Bill is a very busy businessman, and we're very busy here, so we've been kind of emailing back and forth a little bit when we get a chance. And this is a Dragon telephone that we've been working on, but this phone is a speaker phone, and it has lights in the eyes of the Dragon that light up green, and then it has a ball of fire that lights up red with one single LED. And this is the original board. We've got this cleaned up a little bit, the inside of the phone. So we've removed his old board that was not repairable, and kind of got rid of that. So that's no longer going to be used. And over here, I wanted to show you a few things. We kind of cleaned out the inside of the phone a little bit. Show you what some of these wires are. These wires right here are for the handset. So we'll utilize the modular port that they have in the side of the phone for that. And then these two tip and ring wires here are for the line cord that goes over to a telephone line jack, and we'll most likely utilize them. These four wires going up into the inside of the Dragon are for the Dragon's eyes, and there's two LEDs, so there's going to be four lights there, or four wires. And over here we have two wires, a purple and a gray, and that shoots up to the ball of fire. And then you can see our hook switch now that they have glued in, and that hook switch, see if I can't move it a little bit from the front. That hook switch there is the original hook switch that they had designed the telephone with. And basically these are just a bunch of lines coming off of that hook switch. So we may be able to use that, and if we can, we will. But anyway, there's an obstacle that we're up against here a little bit, because this newer PC board, or the good PC board that we have already wired the keypad to the original keypad, because they designed all this for that keypad, and it has the mounting in here for it. We had to use the original board, and we wired to it, which is fine. That's not a big deal. But here on this board was not designed to have the voltage drops for the larger LED lights that are in this telephone. And as you can see, I know I have a LED here, and this is a very small, as you can see, smaller, takes less voltage and current to run this LED here. It's a smaller version, and this board was really only designed to run that one LED, and there's some voltage drops there for this, and running the two larger LEDs for the eyes of the Dragon kind of comes out a little dim, and trying to utilize some voltage drops in this area pulls the telephone down. And I'm going to kind of try to show you what I'm talking about, but we've got to try to overcome that. Give you an idea without picking the phone up here. I'm going to turn the speakerphone on, and if I touch these two wires together, you're going to hear the speakerphone drop in volume. And you just heard that drop in volume. And basically I'm going to pick this telephone up and try to swing it around. And now you can see the eyes in the Dragon. And that's kind of the brightness that I would like to see on the eyes in the Dragon. And I'm going to disconnect this wire, and you're going to hear the volume kind of go back up, but then the lights go out. Try to give you the option of showing you what it would look like if try to get a jumper on here, what it would look like if we were doing it a different way. And the lights are on in the eyes, but they're just not as bright as they should be. But you don't hear a voltage, or you don't hear the speakerphone drop. The eyes are actually lit right now, and I'm going to try to disconnect that to make them go out. But you can't really see them; they're not bright enough. But then again, I'm not taking as much voltage out of the board as I was before. And so that's basically just something that we're going to have to work on. I'm turning the speakerphone off now. And we're just going to have to work on that and try to come up with a circuit, or build a circuit, or enhance the circuit so that these eyes light properly, or at least enough to be seen in a daylight situation, and we're just going to have to go from there. So basically, it's one of those trial and error things, and hopefully we won't have to discard this board and go to a different situation. There is a volume control here. I'm going to show it to you, and once we get all these other problems straightened out, we would go to some type of volume on the outside of this phone, because this phone did not have a speakerphone volume before. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the speakerphone, and there's a volume control right here, as you can see. And then that's all the way up. But I'm not concerned. This telephone also didn't have a switch for the ringer, and I'm not real concerned with all that right now. I do believe that we could just mount a switch for the ringer to turn it off and on, high and low, or whatever, on the bottom side of this telephone, on the bottom board, on the bottom plate, and we could get our switch there. As far as the volume control goes, we're just going to have to cross that when we get to it. First, we have to get these lights lit properly and get that working properly, and then we'll start worrying about all the other little issues, because I don't concern, with them too much right now at this point. And I'm going to swing this around. I'm going to show you another. When they built this telephone, they kind of designed some things that that didn't, just really isn't a real well working situation. I'm going to try to get this in here and show you. As you can see, this is pretty thick, and right here in the front of the phone, there's a little hole, and it's right here. And you still have about another inch to 3/4 of an inch of wood that the sound has to pass through to get to the microphone. And really what you want in an ideal situation is to get the microphone as close to the outer part of the telephone as you can, so that it picks up a good quality sound. When you have that microphone way back here in this area, where you're going through about an inch to 3/4 of an inch of wood through a little hole, the wood does suck up a lot of the sound, so and it kind of deadens it. So this hole is going to have to be routed out, and the microphone dropped into a real close, safe distance from the front of the telephone. So that's an issue too that I'm kind of worried about. But we need to cross these other problems and get them taken care of first with the lights in the eyes. So this just kind of gives you a little bit of an update of what we're kind of facing on this telephone right now, trying to get it squared away and get some problems taken care of. But you know, I'm just going to work on it for a while. If we have to discard this board and go to a different situation, it would be great to go to a situation where we had a speakerphone that worked off a power supply that you could plug in the wall, because then we could really get some decent voltage drops out of a situation like that. That problem is, though, with the newer speakerphones, everything has gotten so elaborate. You have caller ID and all these other functions and options that we just don't really need. And the board would end up being too large to end up fitting in the situation that we have here to work with. You have a couple of different levels. We don't have much. We really don't have much room. By the time you get a speaker mounted in here and you get a board mounted in here, you have at least 1.5 inches here, which is brought into this area for the handset. So, you know, it's going to be a kind of a tricky situation getting a board in there and trying to install a board that has caller ID and all kinds of stuff that we're not going to use anyway. Might be, you know, that might be a difficult task. So, but we could maybe cut away the LCD screen and, you know, the caller ID stuff and try to get rid of some of it and clean up the board so that we can get a smaller version of a telephone in here. But we'll go with this for a little while and see how it comes out. If it doesn't start working out the way we need it to, and we can't build a circuit to help it out and get a good voltage drop on it, we may have to disregard this and go to some type of a board that we can run with a power supply. And that's why we had to kind of stick with these older boards, because it didn't have all the caller ID stuff on it, and that way it kept it smaller. And even this board might be just a little too much for the inside of this telephone by the time we get everything in it that we need to get in there, the speaker, the cover, and get this keyboard mounted. So we're just going to have to go with it for a little while here and see how far we can get along and with what we have, the situation that we have at this point, and kind of go from there. But this shows you a little look of the inside of the phone. It's a little more cleaned up now, and we have a lot of obstacles to go through here, but you know, we'll get it squared away. We're just going to have to come up with some good ideas and get some things working in our favor here, and then we'll just take it from there and go with it. So this is just a little update video. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.